Foreign businesses looking to establish in the Pacific region should be aware of human rights risks in the communities they look to invest in. That's according to Amy Sinclair, Regional Representative for Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific at the Business and Human Rights Resource Centre. The centre tracks the human rights impacts of companies around the world. Ms Sinclair spoke to Johnny Blades about the centre's efforts in the Pacific.
It's an area of the world where we're seeing rapid economic growth across a number of different sectors. So, as you say, in extractives and mining, land mining, and also potentially we've seen a lot of interest from seabed mining companies, so overseas seabed mining companies from Canada looking to explore and exploit resources in the Pacific, but also in addition to mining in sectors like logging, fishing in vessels in Pacific waters from overseas, as well as local fishing businesses, and also increasingly in areas like tourism as well.
So is it the case that Pacific Islands communities are being, let's say, ripped off more than other regions because of the business interests coming in?
There are a lot of potential risks for local communities in terms of ensuring that they safeguard and they protect their rights so that they actually see the benefits of the resources that are being used when companies come in. But also equally, it's important that businesses themselves are aware of what potential human rights risks there are in the areas where they're seeking to invest, so that they can conduct adequate human rights due diligence at the beginning of a project, and they can engage, for example, with the right landholders and stave off potential disharmony and harmful outcomes later down the track.
So are companies generally aware of the various Indigenous rights when they come into a region like the Pacific?
Well, there's a huge variety, obviously, of companies going into the region. Generally, the larger companies, the big multinationals from North America, from Europe, from Australia, would be more aware of the relevant frameworks and guidelines that require them to respect the human rights of local communities. Less so with the smaller sized companies who are further behind in terms of engaging on business and human rights and awareness of the business and relevant business and human rights standards.
So what's your organisation currently doing in terms of trying to foster better outcomes and more awareness on this front in the Pacific?
So our organisation, the Business and Human Rights Resource Centre, tracks the human rights impacts of companies around the world. I'm focusing on the human rights impacts of companies investing in the Pacific, and so as a first step, we're seeking to empower and build capacity amongst local communities and their representatives so that they are equipped with the relevant tools to engage when the mining company comes to town or the logging company, so that they can raise their concerns and have pathways to develop remedy with the companies.
Amy Sinclair from the Business and Human Rights Resource Centre.